Hello, and welcome to a Captain America Civil War review. I'm not drunk, I'm completely sober, I've got tea. It's pretty early and I just wanted to get a review for this film out. Because in England we have it, in America you don't. Ha ha, ha 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 ha. Sorry, it's a bit of glee. Now, the way this is going to work, we're going to have a tiny bit at the beginning, and then I'm going to go into a longer, in-depth bit later. No spoilers throughout, because, again, you haven't got it yet, America. So I won't be spoiling anything. But I'll do a little bit at the beginning, long bit at the end. Before we go into the review, I saw this film in an odd condition. I did see it at midnight, but my cinema was offering a Captain America marathon. Captain America First Avenger, then Winter Soldier, then Civil War. It started at 7:15, ended about 2:30 in the morning. I knew it was going to be a bad idea because cinema seats are not comfortable, especially for like 8 hours. But I have a friend who convinced me to do it, and holy shit, about halfway through Winter Soldier I thought I was going to pass out. I was in a lot of pain. It was very hot. And then Civil War was in fucking 3D, and my eyes were killing me. But I got through it. And this film is good enough that it was worth the amount. I spent the next 2 days like in a lot of pain, just like with a migraine permanently. It was bad, but the film was fucking fuck, man. Now, tiny little bit. Let's do that. So this film's fucking awesome. Just it's great. It's my favourite Marvel film now. A lot of that's to do with Black Panther and Spider-Man. Oh fuck me, Spider-Man. Even if I know everyone bigs them up and talks about how great they are, but everyone else is awesome. Everyone performs perfectly. The story's fun and kind of fucked up, like at points, and pretty grim and dark, but still has tons of levity with just jokes galore, and it's good. I think the only flaw actually other people's flaws seem to be the villain. I'll go into why I think the villain's actually pretty great. You may think the villain's unnecessary, and I understand 100% why. But this film obviously isn't perfect, but for me it is. It's amazing that after 8 years now, is it 8 years? I think it's 8 years since Iron Man. That Marvel still, each film's better than the last, and the Russo brothers did a fantastic job. Everyone in this film's great. I would recommend going to see this. If you like Marvel, if you like Spider-Man and were like, fuck the Amazing Spider-Man films, I need Spider-Man real, you've got him. He's here. It's taken a while, but he's here. I don't think you'll like this film if you're just not into superheroes, I guess, but even then, man, it's great. It's genuinely good. If you want a good time, but fuck yeah, just go and see this film. So, longer talk, and we'll start with characters as usual. We'll start with Captain America, Chris Evans. Sorry, I forgot his name. Chris Evans, still as good, carried on a great performance from fucking Winter Soldier, super compelling. He's great, he's fucking ripped. There was a ton of, when I was like, oh, this is going to be 8 hours, there's going to be a bunch of nerds in this showing. There was tons of women, tons. And I think most of them were there for just 8 hours of half-naked Chris Evans. Like, he has, apparently, tons of sex appeal. Like, ridiculous amounts of sex appeal for a lot of women. It was serious. There was more women than should have been in an 8-hour marathon of Captain America. Yeah, he's great. This is going to be the longest character bit ever because there's tons. I'm going to do short snippets, okay? Then we got Bucky, played by Sebastian Stan. Is that his name? I think it's Sebastian Stan. Maybe I'm wrong. I know it's Sebastian. He's fucking great. He works with Chris Evans well. Like, we got a snippet of him in The Winter Soldier, and now he gets to talk more properly, and he's awesome in his relationship with Cap. It's great, and he's just as fucking intimidating and cool. Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., again, I'm going to say compelling a lot. Like, I don't like the Civil War comic because it's super biased and kind of shitty, and if you like the comic, fine, but it's just, I really am not into that. I think it's way too political for its own good and is super biased against Tony Stark. Whereas this film is not, and the two sides between Cap and Iron Man, like, you will fluctuate your opinions on who you side with throughout the film. A lot of your opinions will side with your favourite superheroes, but it will fluctuate, and that is to do with Robert Downey Jr.'s performance. He's super great in it. And I guess he can do that with that character after Iron Man 3, where most of that film was him dealing with being Iron Man and all that. And I guess this is kind of a follow-up to that in its own way. Who else we got? Fuck it, Black Panther. Is it Chadwick? No. Am I thinking of the wrong? Is it Chadwick Boseman? Is that the actor, or am I thinking of someone else? I think it is, playing T'Challa or Black Panther. Fucking, he is cool, okay? And, like, in this film more than I thought he was going to be. He's in this film a ton, and just, like, the way, like, his actual outfit is awesome, and just the way he moves is really fluid and cool, and he's good, and I'm super excited for a Black Panther film. I'm gonna try and not do comparisons to Batman vs Superman a lot, which is hard because they're kind of the same subject material, but one's way better. But look, my problem with Wonder Woman in the film is that she was there and didn't really do anything but show up for a fight scene, whereas T'Challa's there throughout the film, is fucking on his A game the whole film, does a ton, sets up his own film and Wakanda and all that place fluidly and awesome instead of just seeing a picture on a laptop. And he's in the fight scenes, he's cool, he's great. It's good. You know, I'm gonna have to go for every hero, I think. It's only fair, probably. Well, I gotta do Spider-Man, Tom Holland, right? I've got to. He is. I wanted to scream. Like, I'm a big Spider-Man fan. He's my favourite superhero by far. And I like the Tobey Maguire 1 and 2. I think they're both great. Spider-Man 2 is one of my favourite films ever. And I just love Spider-Man. Like, my wallpaper on my computer right now is Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. And I was excited for Tom Holland early on because I'd seen him in What Do We Do Now? Is that the film? Like a kind of post-apocalyptic, not even post-apocalyptic, but kind of about nukes and stuff. He's in it. He's super young, and I enjoyed him in that. And I was like, he's pretty great. And then seeing the behind the scenes stuff where he's like doing backflips and shit, and I was excited. And he's English, and Spider-Man has to be English now, it seems, which is strange. But he's great. You get to see more of him than I thought you would. I don't know if it's a spoiler to say that you get to see him as Peter Parker as well as in his full regalia as Spider-Man, and he's just fun and energetic and a massive fucking super nerd. They do some cool new stuff with his heightened senses, which does some cool stuff with the eyes. He's just... I don't know if it's a spoiler to say that he's on Iron Man's team. I think that's fair enough, and I guess if you've seen any Spider-Man news and seen that in the Spider-Man Homecoming film, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be in it, it's fair to say he's on Iron Man's team. And the way they play off each other, the way he plays off everyone in the film is really fun. Just watching him interact. Like, I guess they went, wow, we finally got Spider-Man back. We couldn't have him in the Avengers, but let's just get him to talk to everyone, and it's fun. And like, it's not fair to say Spider-Man's the best bit of the film, because the whole film's pretty solid, and I don't think it'd be fair to Chris Evans and the Captain America thing. But I understand why everyone's really excited about Spider-Man, because he's not... Believe the fucking hype. He is genuinely great. You will have fun watching him. And stay after all the credits. Do that if you're a Spider-Man fan. Do that. He's fucking great. Vision and Scarlet Witch, both in this again. And I enjoy... I'm reading The Vision. I would recommend read The Visions, the new... This thing is in that episode issue 7 or 6 or 7. It's fucking awesome. Read The Visions. I swear to God, you will enjoy it. But Paul Bettany, still just as good as he was in the small snippet of Age of Ultron. And he's fun to watch, and it's great watching him just try and be normal, which is great. And the blossoming relationship with him and Scarlet Witch which is nice to see. And what's her name? Who plays Scarlet Witch? Elizabeth Olsen, I think so. She's fine. I think she's worked on her accent. The dodgy Eastern European accent she had in Age of Ultron is better. She's been working on it, you can tell. And her powers are way more. She does way more stuff with her powers that are really interesting. And she's everyone is fun. And her relationship with, after Age of Ultron, Hawkeye, just as good. Jeremy Renner, just as fun. Falcon's just as fun. War Machine's Don Cheadle, you know, I like him. There's nothing huge to say about him, really. He's just kind of there, and you know. Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, again, fine, and it's nice seeing her play. I don't know, her character being conflicted enough to kind of play a different side, which is kind of fun to see. Something new. New characters, we have... Well, it's not even new. General Ross. Is it Thunderbolt Ross? Is that his name? I think so. He's the only now connecting character to the Incredible Hulk film. He's in this. And it's nice to see him being him. He's not super angry or anything. He's just kind of a general. Like, he's a bit generic. But I think he is in the comic. He's just a general. And, because I forgot before we go into the villain of the film, and this is edited after because I'm bad at this, I forgot Ant-Man and Sharon Carter. I know they're not really connected anyway, but they're just the two I forgot, so I put them in one image. Anyway, Sharon Carter's fine. It's nice that they added from her character from Winter Soldier and made her bigger. I already knew she was, and most people probably did, but it's nice that they added to her. And Paul Rudd's Ant-Man. Holy fuck, he's great. He's just as fun as he was in Ant-Man. The new stuff they do with his powers is great. He is just as good as he was in Ant-Man, and I'm just happy to see him wherever he is. He's great. He's really good. But the big thing is Zemo. In the comics, Baron Zemo. In this, just Zemo. Not Baron Zemo. And I think he's a lot of people's... He's the villain of the film. And I guess I'll talk about him last here, because there's probably some characters I missed. Like, Everett Ross and his small part. And there's a bunch of small characters, most are great. But I need to talk about Zemo, because I think a lot of people... most people thought when it's a film about these two characters clashing, you probably don't need a villain. And I think if they'd done any big villain, he definitely would have been overshadowed by everything else. Like, so they picked Baron Zemo and just made him Zemo, and just made him a guy. And he's not got a world-ending plan or anything massive. He just kind of instigates a lot, and overall will not be that memorable. I think they can do more stuff with him. It's not out of the question that he could become the Baron Zemo we know. I did want a stupid purple mask, but I didn't get that. But I think his character, I think it's smart. Like, most people won't remember him, and most people are like, oh, the villain sucked. But I don't think he was meant to be a villain. I think he was meant to be more of a walking, talking, like, collection of all the ideologies and points the film has to make. Like, the whole film is kind of about, are the Avengers more dangerous than good? Has the creation of superheroes led to more supervillains? And all these big ideas that superhero things like to tackle from now and then. And instead of having a villain like, I don't know, Red Skull again, or someone, or like Lady Hydra, or just someone like fighting Cap, they picked a character and changed him so he was more of just kind of all the points this film is talking about compiled into a walking, talking person. And yeah, he's not huge and world-ending and threatening. He's kind of intimidating, but I think he's more just meant to be this, like, visual thing that all the heroes can go, oh look, this is what we fucking done. It's that guy. He's just more of that than fucking a big villain, which I understand when people would be kind of like, the villain kind of sucks. But I don't, if they had done a bigger villain, it would have probably taken away from time from characters you really wanted to see interact, which would have sucked. And the way they fucking managed all the characters in this film, the Russo brothers, I don't know how the fuck you did it, but you did it. And if they had another big villain that was taking up more screen time, I think that would annoy people even more. And also, if you did do a big villain, it would be probably overshadowed anyway by the other stuff that happened with the heroes. And I don't think any villain could have done well. So they didn't really do a villain. They did more of just a idea, I guess. Just something so all the heroes can go, look, this is kind of all our points that we're making compiled into a persona, I guess. My point. I thought he was fine for that, and I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but we can see more from him maybe later. But yeah, I don't think Zemo is as bad as lots of people make out. I think he has a purpose that he serves, and any villain would have flopped in that film. So I think they did something smart with him. All the action in this film is just it's the best superhero fighting you will ever see. It's like I don't really like the Avengers film. I like Age of Ultron a lot. Avengers 1 I enjoyed for what it was and I respect it, but I can't really watch it anymore. And it's kind of like an event comic for me, all the Avengers films, where it's just a spectacle. It's just meant to see characters playing off each other and being fun, and that's kind of what the Civil War comic, and if you've ever read an event comic, you know what I mean. But every now and again you get a great event comic, like stuff that I really, really enjoy, like Battle of the Atom from, was it last year or the year before? It was in the all-new X-Men run, and they had Battle of the Atom, and it was a few issues, and it was fucking awesome and fun and action-packed. And this feels like, this does feel like Captain America 3, definitely. Like how connected it is to Bucky and Cap's relationship, it definitely doesn't feel like Avengers 2.5. It does feel like that, but it does also feel like an event comic with all these characters together. But it feels like a good event comic with everyone playing off each other. Great, the action's really great, and the actual story underneath it is interesting. It's not just the story doesn't matter that much because of the shit you want to see. Like, it doesn't skimp on the story, and I think that's awesome. It is. I guess the equivalent is it is a good event comic. Unlike, I think, most event comics. Yeah. Yes. It's good. And this film does something really cool, which I don't even know if it's the point or if I'm just reading too much into it or not. This film sets up a lot of cool stuff I think this does the best job of setting up future Marvel films, but without blatantly doing it. Like, it just has stuff in the story, and the fact that that thing exists now is like, wow, that could lead to this, without it even having to stop and go. Like, you know, the Age of Ultron where it stopped and took Thor to that pond and he saw the thing. It's like, it took like this screeching halt to show you that. This just puts things in that aren't even like huge. They're just a thing that you go, oh, that could lead to this. And it doesn't mention it. It doesn't even really, I might just be reading too much into it, but just the idea of, oh, that exists now. Well, that can lead to cool things. Which I kind of want to talk about what the cool thing is. And I would say this definitely does change the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like, a lot. Because until Infinity War Part 1, we probably won't see we'll see Iron Man in the Spider-Man film, but we've got like Doctor Strange and Guardians are the big next phase movies that won't probably feature the Avengers in any way. So like, these characters do have time to settle after, because this does affect like the relationships. Like, this place, it doesn't skimp on that. Like, you get to the end and these characters are in a completely different place to they were before, and it's awesome. I'm super happy they didn't just go, fuck it, we'll just get back and the Avengers are friends again. Like, the shit that happens is kind of unrepairable for a while. I don't know the word I'm trying to think of. And that's cool, and it's kind of great. We won't see these characters, but they're just gonna have time to settle for a bit until Thanos shows up, and they're like, shit, we've got to stop being petty, we've got Thanos to deal with. But this film does everything I think Marvel wants to do with each of their films. It's fun, it fucking does a great job with their characters. It also sets up later stuff without upsetting fans. It has a ton of cool Easter eggs. And it made them a ton of fucking money. So I think Marvel's happy. I think they're happy. And Sony must be going like, fuck, why didn't we give them Spider-Man back earlier? Because we're going to make bank off of this. I guess I did talk about this with someone like, I'm kind of sad Sony didn't give it back earlier. But if they had given it back earlier, we wouldn't have got Tom Holland as Spider-Man. So, swings and roundabouts, I guess. So yeah, I'm excited for the future of Marvel. I love this film. I've only seen it once. Alright, my perspective could also be slightly swayed because, again, I was about 6 or 7 hours into a marathon and I was sweating. My body was killing me and I had to put on 3D glasses. I felt like I was about to pass out. So I could have seen a film and not even realised it, honestly. But I want to go and see it again. I'm probably going to go and see it again tomorrow or something. And it's good. If you like Marvel, if you like any of these characters, if you love Spider-Man and you want to... I guess, actually, if you love Spider-Man, you might go, fuck, I've got to wait a year for more Spider-Man. Which is what, as soon as I left that film, I was like, shit, I want more. You dicks, I want more. Oh, God. It's good. Believe the hype. This is, I think, the best Marvel film. And the Russo brothers know what the fuck they're doing. And the fact that they could organise all these characters and they all get screen time, they all fucking get to show off their powers. When they all fight, they get to use every little fucking... Oh, I am excited even more for Infinity War, knowing they're heading it up. Because, shit, dude. If they can do this... Fuck, man. And that's my tea done. So yeah, I'm an Archie. This has been a review for Civil War. This channel's been dead for a little bit. Yeah, stuff's going on in my life. I have a bunch of stuff recorded. I just haven't had time to edit it. Hopefully it'll be out soon. It might be ages, or it might be next week. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah. So, one more time. I'm Archie. This has been Civil War review. Go watch it. Thanks for watching. Bye.